Hey guys, Mr. Bowman here. A short video on how to use your graphics calculator to solve our z-value equations to calculate either the mean or the standard deviation. So this is for the inverse questions where you've been asked to calculate the mean or calculate the standard deviation. The end of your process, you're left with a formula with one variable to solve for. Instead of using algebra, you can use your graphics calculator to solve this type of question. So let's have a look at the first question. We've been asked to calculate the mean. What would happen in your working, you would have done your normal distribution curve. You would have written down all the values you know. We knew the standard deviation. We knew the area, 0.2. We knew the x value of 5.8, but we didn't know the standard, or the mean, sorry. Once we've done that, we would have used our graphics calculator to find the z value that relates to the 5.8, and that tells us how many standard deviations it is away from the mean. So in our case, we're 0.8419 standard deviations from the mean. We then put all the values we knew of into our z formula. So z was equal to 0.8419, x was equal to 5.8. The mean was what we're trying to calculate, so that didn't change. And the standard deviation was 1.25. That left us with an equation that we were trying to solve, and we can use our graphics calculator to solve that. So let's get into our calculator now. First step, we've got to turn our calculator on. And once we've done that, we've mainly been using the stats mode, we're going to be using the equation mode, which is number 8. Once you're in equation mode, we're using the solver function, and that is where you put an equation and it will solve it for you. And once you've in here, you will then need to input the formula or the equation that you're trying to solve. So what we need to do is we need to go click the right button to get into the formula. We need to delete everything that we had there previously, and we need to start inputting the value. So we're going to go 0.8416. That is equal to, so really important, the equal button is the yellow and the dot. So we're going to go shift dot, and you'll see our equal signs come up. That is equal to 5.8 minus the mean. Really important. There is a division here, which means we need to bracket that whole top part. So bracket 5.8 minus, instead of putting in the mean, we're just going to put an x, and we're going to close our bracket, and that's going to be divided by 0.125. We're going to push execute once. And I just want to note, at this point here, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, yep, there's my answer, sweet. It actually hasn't done anything yet. Once you've pushed execute, you now need to push solve. And that x value there, so x equals 4.748. So that means the mean for this equation was 4.748. Let's have a quick go at the standard deviation one to see how that's slightly different. So once we're in this, we're now going to push exit, and we're going to go back to our equation. We're going to push AC to clear our previous equation. And this one here, we're calculating the standard deviation. What we've done already is we've drawn our graph. We've put our standard deviation of 21, x value of 17. That area is the bottom 15% or 0.15. And we don't know our standard deviation this time around. We've used the inverse function to find z, and our z value is negative 0.03, so negative 1.0364. We rounded that to 40p. We then used our z equation. We put in our z value. We've put in our x value. We've put in our mean. And we've left our standard deviation as the symbol because we don't know what that is yet. We now need to put that into our equation. So we're going to go negative 1.0364. That is equal to, so don't forget, the equal is shift the dot, and that brings up our equal sign. You'll see it in yellow just down here. That is equal to, remembering our brackets, 17 minus 21, close bracket. And that is going to be divided by x, because the standard deviation is the thing we don't know. And then this time around, we're going to put the x, just like we did before. So we're going to push execute. Just a reminder, this answer that's now highlighted is not your answer. That was the answer from the previous time you used it. You've now got to click solve. And our x value is 3.86, and that's rounded to 2dp. So that means our standard deviation for this graph is 3.86. Hopefully you found this video useful in calculating the mean and standard deviation using the solver function in our graphics calculators.